Hello and welcome to today's video. And today, what I'm going to be speaking to you about is three of the reasons why mindset matters so much. And so I focus on mindset because that was for me what really set me free. I used to experience depression, anxiety, and eating disorder. Really hated myself and was not able to go out and enjoy my life, create my life, feel like I was even living my life for a long time because of the thoughts that were circling around in my mind. And for quite some time, I thought my mind was the problem. There's something wrong with it. There's something amiss there. It just doesn't work like everybody else's. But that was not the case. The case was not that my mind was the problem, it was how I was using it. And when I started to use it as my own solution, I set myself free. I learned to speak to myself kindly. I learned to train myself to think about what I wanted, not what I didn't want. I learned to shift my focus. I learned to transform how I felt through this mindset transformation. And now that's what I help other people to do as well. So today I'm going to be sharing with you three of the keys that I really changed within myself that transformed everything, that changed my whole reality and allowed me to just feel good about myself, feel confident, feel empowered, and start creating my life my way. So, the first thing is beliefs. Our beliefs are simply something that we feel certain about. It's a feeling of certainty about something. It's quite often formed when we're younger, when we are children, when we're just like these sponges. We form beliefs about ourselves, about the world, about our lives. These beliefs can be limiting or empowering. And I'm not going to go down the whole beliefs rabbit hole because I could go on about that for quite some time. But the important thing here is to recognize that what we are believing, what we are telling ourselves or believing within ourselves to be true, is the experience that we're creating around us, because our beliefs are one of a number of filters that we use to filter in all the information we're getting from the world at all times. So just think about this for a second. We don't want to get too complex about it, but if you think of all the information you're receiving in the world at any given time, it's about 2 million bits of information. Apparently, I don't know who came up with that, but that's what they say. And so we can't process all of that. That would just be an impossibility. So what we do instead is we use these filters to find the things that are relevant to our experience. And so we will look for those, they'll match up, and we'll just distort, delete, or generalize the things that don't match up with that and ignore them or go on about our lives without those things. And beliefs are one of these things that we're using to filter. So if we have beliefs that are not serving us, that do not support us, that do not empower us and make us feel good, then our experience is being filtered in to match up to that. So that's something to think about. Check in with, well, what am I telling myself all the time? What do I believe is true about myself, about what's possible, about my reality, about the world around me? And if you can identify those things and learn to transform them, then you're giving yourself a lot more power to enjoy the reality that you're living in and to start getting all the information that really supports you and empowers you and expands your life rather than limits it and makes it feel a little unsavory, for want of better words. So the second thing is your focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. What you focus on is what you get, to the exclusion of all else. These things roll off my tongue because it's just so essential to understand this and to put our energy into realizing this. If you are focused more on what's missing than what you have, you're not going to feel in that abundant energy. You're not going to feel grateful. You're not going to feel like you have everything you need. You're going to be always looking for more. There's always this hole that nearly needs to be filled because you're coming from a place of scarcity and lack. So if that's your focus, and that's the experience you're creating for yourself. If you're focused more on what you can't control than what you can control, you're going to feel disempowered. You're not going to feel like you have the charge over the things that are happening in your life. And again, you're just not going to feel super confident then. What we're focusing on is expanding. We're shining a light on it. We're making it more real in our world. So if we're always focused on what we don't like about ourselves, we're not going to feel good. If we're focused on what we don't have, we're not going to feel good. So the second thing to recognize in your mindset is, where am I putting my focus? What am I thinking about most often? What kind of thoughts am I allowing? What kind of things am I overthinking about in the middle of the night? And is that really serving me? Can I shift my focus from that? And if I can, where am I going to shift it to? So the third thing to realize and to recognize and to use as information to empower yourself is that our thoughts create our feelings, and those feelings create our actions or our behaviors. So it begins in the mind. It all starts up there. So if we tell ourselves, I am ugly, I don't like myself, I'm stupid, any of these things, you can nearly even notice that even as I was saying that out loud, I was like, I don't like that thought. It does not make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel inspired. It doesn't make me feel like I want to show up and own the day. It creates a feeling within me, and we are saying these things to ourselves so often. How many of us are so hard on ourselves? How many of us spend so much time in judgment and criticism for ourselves? How often would we say things in our mind that we would not say to anybody else because it's so harsh, it's just so mean? And yet we're saying it to ourselves, and we're creating these feelings of maybe anxiety or of shame or of disappointment in ourselves or disconnection from ourselves. We're creating sadness within ourselves. And when we do that, when we have these cycles of thoughts that aren't serving us, we create these feelings that drain us, that don't feel good, that don't motivate us, that disconnect us from what we truly want. Then what are our actions going to be like? What's our output going to be like? We're not going to be doing the things that we really want to do. We're not going to be showing up. We're not going to have the energy to create change in our lives because we're telling ourselves all day long that we can't, that we're not good enough, that we're not worth it. So if we can simply change that at the thought level, then we can influence our feelings and we can influence our behaviors and our actions. And once we get that cycle turning in a way that feels good for us, then it keeps on going. And then we can get the things that we want. We can create the life that we love. We can just enjoy every single day more and more. So there are 3 reasons why mindset matters so much. The first was that beliefs are shaping our reality. So they need to be working for you or your reality isn't going to be. The second thing is where focus goes, energy flows. Check your focus. Where is it going and what results is that creating for you in your life? The third thing is that your thoughts are creating your feelings, which are creating your behaviors and your actions. So if you can get things working for you on a thought level, transform your feelings, transform the actions you're taking, you're going to be changing your life. I hope you found that helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to share it if you feel so called. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to talking to you in the next video.